you shaped this planet soil. Now the rain has come to end. As life again destroyed life. Do they play elsewhere? Do they know all of them that child and pain? Baby, that is a shade nail to the end of that long life.
Thank you and good evening.
Good evening.
Hello?
This particular contraption, feathered by fear, shielded by pride, is the pomp of the British Empire. Named Britannia, Britannia sits on a small pair of water wings on the waves between England and France. Our water wings sink. She seeks enlightenment, rushes into the supermarket, grabs a small packet of Buddha biscuits, a few Krishna cookies, and a small helping of Jesus jumpers, stuffs them all in her little tight mouth, chews upon them till fully masticated, and spits them out into a big balloon. Until the balloon is so big, she can pull out a little knife, make a small incision at the base of the balloon, and the entire contents fall onto a small sheet of manuscript paper, which when rotated at a speed of 33 1/3 RPM, sound a little like this. We've just found our guitarist, Stephen Hackett. Magnificent engine. You want to enjoy one of our famous dramatic pauses? In fact, just to warm things up, we've got a delightful little comic sketch. Some of you may well be familiar with this particular one before. This particular sketch stars bass guitarist Michael Rutherford. The sketch is entitled, "What's Happened to My Fucking Lead?" This delightful acting masterpiece co-stars Jeff Beam as the road manager, and meanwhile, over the other side of the stage, magnificent Phil Collins with his one-hand-only drum solo. Phil here is remarkable technique, using only one hand. I must emphasize that point, only one hand. He studied for 7 years when we sent him off to Russia to learn under a famous Russian percussionist. The Russian percussionist he studied under was unfortunately a spastic. That was a cheap, unpleasant joke, and we'd like to apologize for it. Meanwhile, Phil was not a spastic, contrary to many rumors, and he acquired two hands. Meanwhile, Michael Rutherford said, "It's okay," and the entire works concluded rapidly. Can you tell me where my country lies? Cried his uniform to his true love's eyes. It lies with me, cried the Queen of Maybe, for her merchandise he traded in his price. I found like, cried a voice in the crowd. Oh man dies, the note he left was signed Old Father Thames, and see
selling England by the pound. Citizens of hope and glory, time goes by, it's the time of your life. Easy now, sit you down, chewing through their wimpy dreams. They eat without a sound. Like it's in England by the pound. Young man says you are what you eat well. Old man says you are what you wear, well. You know what you are, you don't give a damn. First in your belt, that is your homemade sham. Captain Lee.
marvellous, how totally wonderful, and very nice to see you all here tonight too. Now I'd like to tell you a little story about a gentleman called Romeo. Romeo, he was a lovely lad. A very easy name to remember, Romeo, so don't forget it. And anyway, this lad had a fungus and a large guitar cord. And he removed both and stuffed them in the oven. And he pulled out the small fungus 2 weeks later from the oven. To change colour to deep maroon, nothing difficult so far. Anyway, this little fungus was all rumbled up and scrambled into his wet little palm and stuffed once again in his mouth. Fond of mouths tonight we are. And it produced in Romeo what will now be described to you as a high degree of sexual excitation. I carry with me tonight a small piece of subtle symbolism. Some of you who may be aware of the subtle symbolism before your eyes may also be aware that subtle symbolism can become tiring if carried around for long periods. And this was true for our hero too. He was an ordinary man, just called Romeo. And fortunately for our hero, just around the corner on the balcony was little Juliet, singing very so sweetly off a balcony. Charming it was. It was like this. Come up and get it! Our hero was very moved by all this sweet little singing from the balcony. So moved was our hero that he grabbed the young lady off and took her into the darkness and obscurity of the local cinema house. The local newspaper reported the whole incident, what went on afterwards, and called it the cinema show.
Dabs her skin with pretty smells, concealing to appeal. I will make my bed, she said, but turned to go. Can she be late for her cinema show? Cinema show. Romeo locks his basement flat and scurries up the stair. With head held high and full tie, a weekend millionaire. I will make my bed with her tonight. He cries. Can he fail out with his children's surprise? Take a little trip back with Father Tyrese. Listen to the old man speak. Cross between the bones. Maybe there's no mystery. Once a man, she's rage. Once a woman, he's that way. There is in fact more than you see. babysit back for a fantasy.
and the sun beats down and they lay on the bench and always in the time. There's always been effort. Take a wake up, you got the time you want now. And then Mr. Lewis, anytime that he was out on his own, open the garden door, tune in the lamp and you can keep them going, they show my love.
Things falling left and right.
Have you ever seen death by the river? we have. It was lovely. The field was marshy, green, yellow, soggy, wet. Looked lovely. There was big stumps sticking out in the middle of the field, with moss crawling up the sides, crumbling at the top, but they were still big stumps even though they were dead. In the middle of the field was a blue thing. It too was growing with moss, green, yellow, soggy, with blue around the top. It was a human body, and it too looked lovely. If we'd left it there to rot, all it would have done is made the earth a bit richer, a bit darker, a bit more fertile. But we were thirsty, so we pulled the dead body from its resting place in the marshy field, put it on the big tarmac road in a horizontal position to facilitate our jumping upon it. That was a jump, to give you some idea of what we were doing to the body. And we too remembered that the body was 98% water, and after several hours of jumping upon it, another jump, we discovered that there was a little pool of clear water on the left-hand side where the body had been. We became very thirsty from all the jumping, and we drank the water. It tasted very good. The fifth time we repeated this little process, we were beginning to realize that the amount of energy required in jumping upon the body was somewhat more than enough that would be quenched by the water produced from all the jumping. And what's more, the fifth body's water was very dirty around the mouth. Very dirty. And being a Scottish gentleman who referred to his mouth as the Firth, it was the Firth of the Fifth that we started this way.
So Neptune has found another shore. And so with gods and men, the sheep remain silent till their shepherd leads his flock away. The sands of time are low to fight. The river of constant change.
Thank you. April 7, 1896. A small boy disappears behind a bush and returns for the first recorded streak in world history. His name, Henry. His occupation, playing croquet. His croquet partner, Cynthia. And Cynthia is the one surviving witness of this event. Cynthia is initially horrified by the first recorded streak. After a few moments, she is titillated and pursues the young man with alacrity, and her croquet mallet raised high in the air. How perfectly charming you are. Henry was dead, but very soon he acquired underneath each armpit a small, white, fluffy, furry ball. And the ball almost instantaneously spread to a glorious technicolor wing on both sides, fully deodorized, of course, and capable, if flapped like hell, of raising the occupant to heaven. Unfortunately, he was rejected by the authorities, returned all the way down again to occupy the old man's body he would have had. And all this took place on the opening of his musical box. Anybody want to buy some equipment? My babies. We'll resort to that later.
Yes!
Some in-betweens, Phil.
that I may join with you. All your hearts now seem so far from me. It hardly seems to matter now. And the nurse will tell you lies of a kingdom beyond the skies. But I am lost within this hard world. It hardly seems to matter now. Play me by a song. Here it comes again and again and again and again and again. Play me by a song. Here it comes again. Here it comes again, 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 again. Baby, my song. Here it comes again. She's a lady, she's got eyes. Oh, blush and she's out here. And she's got to know you. She's a lady, she is fine. Fresh back in your hair. She's on your I've been waiting here so long, and all the things that pass me by. Just survive now. Stand there with your fixed expression.
Thank you.
plenty of time, plenty of time. It's hard to go when you're right. He made his pie. I doubt he had it. When it was a kid. Walking the streets. Till the kids sleep. So they did. Now, after work, he'd hard security trip. He's getting me. The shouts that beat it. The news that heaven made. I feel my mama so quick. Say Nixon Dickon. Fresh out the dick. I still keep on the eye. The baby and the busy don't cut. Does he pay? And his friend, liquid liver. Through his flesh, breaking the legs of the Boston. They can't be fried. I'll break the legs of the Boston. They can't be fried. They called me a reverend when I entered the church on stage. My brothers have changed, but the name has remained. All began when I returned to Improv to find some furniture in front of the sun. So beautiful just led to a lady who should be the best. She was taken by surprise when I quickly closed my eyes and quick as hell, she rang the bell. I'm pounding came out down his job to see what the trouble was. What's the trouble then? Huh? Louise, is the Reverend home to please?
Oh, yeah, tell him then.
Perhaps, sir, if it's not too late, we could interest you in our fine old Staffordshire play. Oh, no, not me. I'm a man of review. I'm losing my way. Myself, my voice called out. Shit! Say my steeple, I visited me, but this I know when I met little John, his name came. I understood when the judge said, you are a robbing her. He told me of his strange foundation, concealed inside of the word stagnation. He'd had to hide his reputation. Bring home to salvation from door to door. But now with a pin-out guru every week, it was love, peace, truth, and cooperation for all to see. Boy, as a car on a mechanic with all shot. His hands were then fit to receive. More than all the plastic on with his kisser in a mess, 5 scenes on a strap. The children jerk is running right in the mud. Harold the killer, still not quite sure, flies acorns from out of his wing. Inside the super cloud, done proud, the bold and crimson brows, see darkly through review. It's all through. All they can see is the Monaco. There's no one left alive. Must be a draw. So the Black Cat Barons toss a coin to settle the score.
Walk past the pet shop, into the park. Are you fond of lettuce? Are you very quiet tonight, dummies? I will ask you once again then. Are you fond of lettuce? Thank you, very good. Are you fond of worms? Are you fond of worms with your lettuce? Well, what a raggedy bunch you are then. Old Michael, on the other hand, was very decided about his opinions. He was very partial to a bit of worm with his lettuce, very worried about his protein diet. And he ran out into the park at night time when the full moon was there. And seeing the park was empty, cool, clean, green and very smooth, old Michael took off all his clothes and began to scratch his pink, flabby flesh on the cool, clean, green grass. This made a sort of scratching sound, and he filled it in with the tapping of his 10 fingers, a little like this. And so it goes. Anyway, old Michael had caused something of a sensation. Beneath the ground, the thousands of worms interpreted this little pitter-patter on the surface as being meaningful, meaning rainfall. And rainfall to worms means two things. One, bath time. Worms like to keep very clean. Two, as you probably didn't know, mating time, because worms like to keep very dirty too. Within seconds, the entire cool, clean, green surface of the park was a sea of dirty, brown, swarming, mating worms. Old Michael continued to rub his pink, flabby flesh into the dirty, brown mess, only this time he smiled and whistled an exciting musical adventure beginning now. Tonight we present Latin American percussion from Philip Collins. No monkey tonight. This sensational musical episode was interpreted up in the heavens where thousands and thousands of little birds were flying as being the signal for
supper's ready, last number.
Walking across the sitting room, I turn the television off. Sitting beside you, I look into your eyes. As the sound of motor cars fades in the night time, I swear I saw your face change. It didn't seem quite right. And it's hello, babe, with your guardian eyes so blue. Hey, my baby, don't you know our love is true? Coming closer with our eyes, a distance falls around our bodies. Out in the garden, the moon seems very bright. 6 saintly shrouded men move across the lawn stroll. The 7th walks in front, with a cross held high in hand. And it's hello, babe, your supper's waiting for you. Hey, my baby, don't you know our love is true? I've been so far from here, far from your warm arms. It's good to feel you again. It's been a long, long time. Listen to it. is peace, sign the lease. He's a super scientist. He's a guaranteed I look into my mouth, he cried. And all the children lost how many hearts. I bet my life you walk inside, hand in hand, blind in blind, with a spoonful of milk. He's a guaranteed when feelings are not facing, but our faces took a rest. We walked across the fields to see the children of the West. We saw rosy darks, they were standing still to their ground. home has left, we climb up the mountain of human flesh to a plateau of green grass and green trees full of life. A young figure sits still by a pool. He's been stamped human bacon by some butchery tool. He is Social security took care of his lad. We watch in reverence as Narcissus is turned to a flower. A flower? Tis a butterfly, butterfly. Open your eyes, surprise, unlike the Boston rocks and the musical box. Yes, the small bell, Uncle Bell, and everyone's happy to be here. There's Winston Churchill, Mr. Drag, he used to be a British man, Mr. Man, what's the drag? The bitch was a bitch, it was a bird.
Why, you switch to the thing? No, I don't want to get tired.
How'd you learn?
You're going to change when you're human being.
I think it's the shake off his geese. I thought it would be in the bar. Barley. Everything. We're growing. Everything. We've got some in, we've got some out. Wildly floating about. Everybody. We're changing everywhere. You name them all, we've got to hear. To appear. Oh, change! Your body melt. Bump to man to man to dad. Dad to the office, dad to the office. Your arms are bomb. Dad to dad to dom to mom. Mom in the washing, mom in the washing. Your arms full of bomb. The machine that. Here all the time, and like it you know, and like it you go, you ready to the soil, yes, the soil, the soil, the soil, the soil, with that, I'm to be down. love is true.